I'm hearing now. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, so recitation of Holy Quran. For that, we have with us our National Deputy Head of HRM Department, Hafiz Mohsin Javed from Aziz Fatma Medical and Dental College. Hafiz Mohsin Javed, kindly you can start the recitation.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Walaikum
بسم
assalam.
الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم.
Subhanallah, that was beautiful, Hafiz Mohsin Javed. That was beautiful. Okay, so before I start this seminar, I would like to briefly introduce you to the organization. We have with us our non-SYNC member as well. So it would be great if I give you a little bit introduction of the SYNC. So SYNC stands for the Solidarity Among Young Nation for Change. Uh, Youth Organization of Medical Student and Doctor. It was founded on 25 December 2015 by Honorable Chairman Mr. Tejamal Hussain. It's basically non-political and non-profitable organization. Our aim is to improve the healthcare standards, indulging in social welfare programs, and achieving quality education. Okay, so SYNC has many domains, but most importantly, we have four domains that are the main domains of this thing. That is education, healthcare, social welfare, and lastly, medical research, of course. So that was a brief introduction for the non-SYNC member in audience. We will proceed with our guest panels. I would like to introduce you to three of the guests we have in our panel. We have with us Professor Asif. He is the professor and chairperson of Department of Physiology in Gambit Medical College and in charge of DME. We have with us Fizan Shehzad from the fourth year MBBS Rawalpindi Medical University. He has 8 research publication and mashallah the runner of 8 multiple national research conferences. We have with us Gaurav Maheshwari, his house officer at GIMS from the class of 23 and pioneer of undergraduate researcher of GIMS. Okay. So these are the three guests. I would like to welcome Mr. Fizan, Gaurav, and Professor Asif Iqbal to the panel. Okay, so we will start our officially we're starting this webinar. Hope you all will get too many information, all your queries will be solved, and last we will have the interactive session. Professor Asif, on to you. Okay, Professor Asif, you can turn on your mic and your camera. We'll be up to listening your presentation.
Okay, so is it audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, and what about my presentation? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, you can start. Yes,
Okay.
sir, it's visible.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for a brief introduction. And like as Eamon said, that I'm the professor in the Department of Physiology in the Gambit Medical College, and also in charge of Department of Medical Education in the same medical college. Basically, our topic is research culture in Pakistan, and it's feel very pleasure that the students of your age, like the from first year to final year, they are now thinking about the research, because previously in the medical colleges the research was not taking a serious matter. Like they said, research, we will do the research after graduation or after doing the post graduation, or they think that research is a very big thing which can be done by like senior persons. But now alhamdulillah that the research culture is developing in Pakistan, and the undergraduate level also the students are thinking about it. And few of the medical colleges in Pakistan like Aga Khan, Ziauddin, Liaquat National, Shifa, Rifa University, there are a lot of number of King Edward, number of colleges which are taking it seriously, and research as an elective or as a compulsory subject they included in the undergraduate studies. So before starting the research culture in Pakistan, I would like to just have a brief discussion. And by the way, my presentation is only for a few slides, and it is just for brainstorming and for question answer session. So what is the research I would like to start for those students who are very new, like because it is from first year to final year. So those students who are in first year, second year or third year, and they do not have any idea about the research, for those students, like I would like to first emphasize that what is research and how you do it. So the word research itself is a self-explanatory word. Like research, the thing which is already been searched or already been examined, we have to reinvestigate or research about it and find a new avenues on that particular subject or a topic. So research means that to re-examine, reinvestigate, or to test a hypothesis, whether it is already done or it is not already done. So research doesn't mean that every time you have a new topic, you may have a topic which has already been researched a lot of times, and you are doing research on the same topic on your own point of view. So concept of research means it has to be re-examined, re-investigate, retest, or re-inquire. So as I said, that research is an investigative process by finding a reliable solution to a problem through a systemic selection. Like we are doing research in our daily life. I'm giving an example. If you want to buy something, like nowadays, there's an online selling is very much common. So when you want to buy something, is our habit that we go on different online websites and we research about the price of that particular thing. Like if we want to purchase an electronic item, we want to go and see that what are the prices. We see that what is the model number. We see how it's functioning. We see what are the other electronic gadgets or the products which can good over that product which you want to buy. So research, we are doing research in our daily life. But here we are saying that research is an investigative process of finding reliable solution to a problem through a systemic selection. Systemic selection, number one, collection, analysis, and interpretation of the data relating to that particular problem. Here, if we are talking about medical research, so obviously we have some problem, some disease, and we go to find out the solution of that disease by collecting a data, interpreting that data, and analyzing that data. In other words, research is an activity that make us discover new knowledge about the things around us. I hope you will understand. And if you have any question, you can put it in the chat box, or like you can ask after the presentation. So I'm going a little bit like in a nutshell that for a research or for a research proposal, most of the students say, sir, how can we do research? Or what should we do? They come to my office and they say, we want to do a research. I said, yes, very good. If you want to do a research, so do you have any idea in your mind? They say, yes, sir, we have some ideas in our mind. I said, okay, what are those ideas? They give me some ideas which are some maybe we can work on it, or some which we cannot work. So I said, okay, go make a groups, go and do a literature review on that particular idea. Whatever idea you have, you don't think that your idea is not workable. You go and do the literature review. So for research or for a research proposal, the first and most important thing is the literature review. Because as I said, that research means to investigate or to reinvestigate something. So for that purpose, you have a literature review. Literature review open up your mind. Literature review gives different ideas about that particular problem. Say, for example, if you want to do something about the diabetes mellitus, or you want to do research about high blood pressure, or you want to do a research about like asthma. So you, whatever topic in your mind, you go and search the literature. As much as articles you read, as much as papers you read, as much as review articles you read, the new avenues will be open about that particular problem. Then when you have some idea and the background knowledge from the research literature review, then you make your methodology based on that literature review. And then actual work start. Work on that methodology and write a result or analyze that result. So for first year, second year, third year of students, I must say that as much as possible, you read the research articles on a particular problem which you want to like pursue as a research in your third year, fourth year, or next years. When you go into the third year, fourth year, or final year, then you do your like practical work. Okay. Do you hear me? I think some internet problem is there.
Yes,
So
sir,
we
you are
can hear.
audible.
Okay. So if you have any internet problem, even kindly do text me on the WhatsApp. I will check it because I turn on my data also. Okay. This Wi-Fi, I turn on my data also. Okay. So the four most important thing for the research is the literature review, then make a methodology. Then sometimes I must say that here, number 4, I write it preliminary data. What a good researcher do? A pilot study. After literature review and methodology, some good researchers do a pilot study. Pilot study means the same study which you plan to do in a smaller scale. And then you check the results. And if you find the results that which are very interesting or which are very like applicable, then you do original study over it. So introduction, then literature review, then methodology, then preliminary data or pilot study, and then finally here between the statement and limitations, you do your original study, and finally the conclusion. What are the process? Like, what is in your mind? Is there anyone from first year, like in our audience? Is there anyone from first year or second year? Or anyone from not related to medical? Okay, yes, Suhail. Are you in first year? Okay. Okay, yes, there are few students. Okay, for first year students, I would ask in the chat box that, do you have any idea in your mind? Either from the Suhail or either from Hadita Fatma. Do you have any idea in your mind? In the chat box, if you can write me. Okay. No idea? Okay. I don't get, maybe on the chat box. So for first year students, say for example, nowadays, few few first year and second year student came to me and they float an idea that, sir, we would like to do a research on hygiene of food in the hostel or in the cafeteria of our boys hostel and the girls hostel. Yes, they said quantitative approach and qualitative approach. Yes, that's very good. So now you want to do what is qualitative approach and quantitative approach? Yes, you have an idea that OCD, but like I must say that you write, Abrar, you write OCD. I said, make a problem. What do you want to research about OCD? As same as Fatma says, quantitative approach and qualitative approach. So what do you mean by qualitative approach and quantitative approach? In which disease? In you want to do a qualitative or quantitative approach in some like survey or whatever you want to do. That's what I want. You see, you float an idea like you say, sir, OCD. But OCD means what? You want to do like OCD in older patients, OCD in hypertensive patients, OCD in diabetic patients. Got my point? So first of all, for the process of research, I must say you identify a problem. Like one of the students say OCD. I say you identify a problem that, sir, I want to do a research that what is the effect of long-term hypertension on a patient's behavior and development of OCD. Got my point? So identify a problem means like you want to identify that what you're trying to sort out, not just a single word. Like as I said, that few students came to me and they said that we want to do a research on hygienic stuff or hygienic food and effect of that food on our metabolic rate or our basal metabolism. So what I said, then go and find out the literature review. Then they find out a literature review, then they identify a problem. Yes, sometimes the food quality in the hostel, it can increases the weight or it can have a lot of health issues or hygienic issues with the student. So they identify a problem. Then what we did, then we define a problem in a precise terms and unambiguous terms. Then we state a problem in a hypothesis or question way. Like I said, that if a person says OCD, he want to do a research on OCD, I said, I will make a question that what are the effects of long-term hypertension on patients' behavior and development of the OCD. This is my research hypothesis or a question. Okay, some says, okay, I'll take your questions in the middle, okay? Designing a research means that first you identify a problem, then what I said, as in the previous slide, I say, you will define your methodology. So designing means methodology. Then on the basis of methodology, you collect your data and then analyze your data. I'm going very fast and I'm make it a very easy, but it is not that much easy that analyzing a data is a very simple term. Analyzing a data is like hell of a job. Collecting your data is like, I think it is very difficult if you want to collect a data, a real data, because it's very difficult. So these processes are not that much easy. That is why research is called to be a difficult thing. But it is not difficult if you are doing it very dedicatedly. Then after collecting and analyzing the data, you interpret that what your data says. Then you're drawing a conclusion on the basis of your data and make a recommendation. Mind it one thing very clearly, that if you say, for example, review a literature of 100 articles, and out of that 100 articles, 70 articles have one conclusion and 30 articles have another conclusion. Maybe your result will be different from all 100. Maybe your result will fall on those 70 articles which have one result, and maybe your results will fall on one conclusion which has the 30 other ones. So it doesn't mean that your research is not good. It doesn't mean that you are not doing it correctly. Maybe the interpretation of data, the drawing on conclusion is like different than other interpretation of data. So research doesn't mean that you will have the same result as the previous authors will have. Okay, like one of my mentors says that if you're thinking about your results, that if you are doing a research study and if you are thinking that your results will be positive, and by chance the results will come negative to that particular topic, it doesn't mean that your research is not good. The negative results also have impact on our daily life. Say for example, if I'm giving you a very raw example. Say for example, now everybody says that insulin causing the blood glucose level to drop, like it's dropping the blood glucose level, and glucagon on the other hand is increasing the blood glucose level. Maybe, and just for an example, if somebody says that the glucagon has another type of receptor, is also involved to like decrease the blood glucose level. So we cannot on a one shot, on a an answer, we can say no, he's wrong. If he's doing a research, we can give an answer, the research answer, by doing another research. What my point? So what I'm trying to say, that always positive results will not come. Okay. So after the process of research, I must ask you a question, that if you want to do a research, what should be in your mind? Obviously, as I said, that you are doing a reinvestigation, you are doing a re-inquiry, you are doing a research. So to test what you already know, number one is the purpose of research. Like I'm doing a research on vitamin D receptor gene polymorphism in type 2 diabetes mellitus. I'm again repeating, vitamin D receptor gene polymorphism in type 2 diabetes mellitus. And this vitamin D receptor gene polymorphism this research has been conducted in like 50 of the countries. But I'm doing the same research in my country, in my geographical environment, in my socio-economical conditions. So maybe my results are different from the other 50 countries. So the purpose of the result is to test what you already know, to understand the other side of an issue. Maybe everybody says that yes, the vitamin D receptor gene polymorphism has a role in development of type 2 diabetes mellitus. But in my results, they said no, there is no relationship of vitamin D receptor gene. So what does it mean? It means that my research is not good? No. I find the other side of an issue. They said this is related, vitamin D receptor. I said no, it is not related. Then I will justify that why it is not related. So the purpose of the research is to test already know, to understand the other side of an issue, to establish a reliable guide, like what we are doing. Why doing a research? We are open pathways for our followers. Like we are doing we are writing the methodologies, we are writing the literature reviews. So on the basis of these methodologies, our followers will follow these methodology and they will take it as a guide. We expand our knowledge to provide solution to a problem. And finally, maybe sometimes, not always, a research will give a problem to give a solution to a problem. Now, how to choose a research topic? As I said, research is widely spread. I said widely spread around us. Research, either you want to buy an electronic item or something, a dress, anything, or a gadget, or research, you want to do a research on very hi-fi like disease. If you're going to a business side research, you are doing research on a very hi-fi business point of view. So research is, like I said, spread it all around us. And make your mind, I said, from now, make your mind to research about everything. Means in Urdu it says that tahqiq. You say tahqiq, the word tahqiq. What do you mean by tahqiq? It's a research. Tahqiq means whatever you want to do a research first. If you want to plan some journey, you want to do a research first, that I want to go first here, then there, and that day I will go there. This side of transportation I will take, and then obviously your journey will be very good. If you are going to that journey without any research, without any technique, then it will be like a little bit difficult for you. So research topic is taking from a research problem. Like first you have a problem, like as one of our student previously said, OCD. It means he has problem in his mind, like OCD is a problem, but he want to relate that OCD with which problem? With hypertension, with diabetes, with old age, with young age, with stressful persons, to whom? So first of all, you take a research topic from the problem. Then what are the factors that can influence the choice of research topic? Yes, this is very much important, especially in our country. Because if I am a physiologist, what will be favor me? It favors me that the research topic should be related to my research discipline. Okay. I will prefer that it should be shortest duration. What is the fund availability? How much funding is required? And who will give me the fund? Desire for in-depth knowledge. This is very much important. This is an subjective thing, because not everyone is doing research for an in-depth knowledge. Most of the people doing research for their degrees, for their promotions, for their they will be known to the other people. Okay. Very less people, they have desire for in-depth knowledge, that they don't have desire for promotion. They do not have desire for to become a well-known person. They don't have desire to get a funds. Most of the people doing research for funds, like they will have funds from some foreign funding agency or for some national funding agency, and they will have some money in hands. So very less people, they have desire for in-depth knowledge. But as I said, that the factors which are affected the research disciplines, duration, funding, and availability of resources. So a good research must be a researchable, that is problem that can be investigated through collection of data, that it is researchable means it is doable. It doesn't mean that it's only in the papers. It is doable. It must be an area of interest. That's very important thing. If you have an area of interest, you will do a research very good. If you are not doing the research in your area of interest, it will be difficult for you, because a burden for you. Don't take research as a burden. Take research as a fun for you. Take research as say for example, you are doing your favorite thing. Like most of the people are favorite thing is gaming, or for reading or music or anything. So do a research as your favorite thing or for fun. Then that research will be a good research or a helpful research for the community. Otherwise, just in the papers. Now, the topic which today is our topic, that the research culture in Pakistan. So I will put these two slides, number one, this slide, and number two, this slide. I will just put these slides on the screen, and I will ask the administrators, they will open up the mic of the persons who want to talk, and then you will tell me that what do you think, that what is the research culture in the Pakistan. So we will have an interactive session. So please open the mic who want to ask a question or give a discussion about the research culture in Pakistan, because I have these 4 points in my mind, that this is the research culture in Pakistan.
Okay, so I would like to request any student who want to ask the question, raise the hand. We will take your question, and but we'll open your mic. Okay, so you can ask Professor Asif. Okay, so sir, first question is from my side. I'll ask you. So, sir, basically, student mostly ask कि research culture पाकिस्तान की universities में इतना common क्यों नहीं है? Either it's because the research department in universities lack funds, or why don't they hold the seminars and webinars and workshops so we can easily approach and we can easily get the information we need.
अच्छा, मैं दरअसल स्टूडेंट्स को कहूंगा कि वो थोड़ा सा इंटरैक्टिव हो जाए 10 मिनट के लिए। अब यही क्वेश्चंस मुझसे ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स अच्छा जवाब दे सकते हैं कि हमारे पाकिस्तान की यूनिवर्सिटीज में ये क्यों रिसर्च कल्चर इतना कॉमन नहीं है या इतना प्रोमोटिव नहीं है। अगर मुझे स्टूडेंट्स बताए तो मुझे बड़ी खुशी होगी, मैं तो जवाब दे दूंगा इसका, और हो सकता है मैं अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बताऊं, मगर अगर मुझे एक या दो स्टूडेंट्स का आंसर आए तो मैं इसको ज्यादा एलेबोरेट कर सकता हूं। चैट बॉक्स में लिख सकते हैं, आप लिख सकते हो चैट बॉक्स पे, तो मैं उसको पढ़ दूंगा दोबारा। यस स्टूडेंट्स, नहीं है
Hello,
कोई?
sir.
अच्छा
Am I
जी,
audible?
यस
Sir, according to me, it may be the reason that कि सर हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर इतनी अवेयरनेस भी नहीं है कि वो जो है रिसर्च की तरफ आए, उसे इतना ज़्यादा मोटिवेट भी नहीं किया गया है। ये भी हो सकता है कि सर उसे कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं दी गई हो, उसी वजह से वो जो है रिसर्च के अंदर पीछे है। और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जो मिथ्स होती हैं रिसर्च के बारे में कि रिसर्च जो है एक बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट टॉपिक्स है या सब्जेक्ट्स है, तो इसी वजह से ये भी रीज़न हो सकता है। इसी वजह से जो है पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो रिसर्च कल्चर है वो थोड़ी पीछे है।
अच्छा ठीक है, एक बात तो ये है कि रिसर्च कल्चर थोड़ा सा पीछे है क्योंकि जो है वो इसको ज्यादा प्रोमोट नहीं किया था। अच्छा मुझे एक बात का जवाब दो आप, मैंने अभी आपको बताया, क्या रिसर्च करने के लिए अगर किसी को फर्स्ट स्टेप लेना हो तो जरूरी है कि कोई बहुत बड़ी रिसर्च ही हाथ में ले, या कोई बहुत टेक्निकल जो है वो रिसर्च कराए? नहीं, मैं आपको बताता हूँ। देखो मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या होता है। मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये है, मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ये कहता हूँ कि जो भी तुम्हारे दिमाग में है, वॉट एवर इन योर माइंड, जो भी तुम लोग सोचते हो, तुम उसको पेपर पे लिखो। गॉट माई पॉइंट? उसको पेपर पे लिखो, और पेपर पे लिखने के बाद उसके बारे में आप लिटरेचर रिव्यू करो। जब आप बहुत अच्छा लिटरेचर रिव्यू करोगे ना बेटा, तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली माइंड ओपन अप होगा। अब हमारे बच्चे क्या करते हैं, हमारे बच्चे शॉर्टकट्स ढूंढते हैं। देखो मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे टेकिंग शॉर्टकट्स। वो क्या कहते हैं कि सर कोई बना बनाया टॉपिक हमें मिल जाए, हम वो रिसर्च किसको समझते हैं पता है? वो रिसर्च समझते हैं कि गए हॉस्पिटल्स में लोगों के सैंपल्स कलेक्ट किए, सैंपल्स कलेक्ट करके लेबोरेटरी को दे दिए, लेबोरेटरी ने उस सैंपल का रिजल्ट निकाल के दे दिया, और सैंपल निकालने के बाद, रिजल्ट निकालने के बाद हमने जो है किसी स्टैटिस्टिशियन को दे दिया, स्टैटिस्टिशियन ने जो है वो उसका हमें इंटरप्रिटेशन करके दे दी, और हमने उसका किसी से पूछ के कंक्लूजन कह दिया। नहीं, दिस इज नॉट द रिसर्च। देखो रिसर्च एक कल्चर है, रिसर्च एक इंस्टिंक्ट है जो कि आपके अंदर होती है। ये बात सही है कि रिसर्च के लिए आपको फंड्स होने चाहिए, रिसर्च के लिए आपको रिसर्च कल्चर कॉलेज में होना चाहिए, मगर अगर कॉलेज नहीं रिसर्च कल्चर प्रोवाइड करता, आप खुद कर लो। आप किसी दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी के, अपने फ्रेंड्स की यूनिवर्सिटी में जाओ, वहां पे किसी कोलीग के साथ, किसी मेंटर के साथ अटैच हो जाओ, आप रिसर्च कर सकते हो। तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो डिलीमा है हमारे यहाँ पे, एक तो ठीक है कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज उसको बहुत ज्यादा प्रमोट नहीं कर रही हैं एट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लेवल, मगर हमारे बच्चे भी शॉर्टकट्स ढूंढ रहे हैं। हमारे बच्चे क्या कह रहे हैं कि जी हमें कोई चीज बनी बनाई मिल जाए। एक बात। दूसरी बात मैं आपको बताऊं, जो रिसर्च हो रही है हमारे पीएचडी में, एमफिल में, मास्टर्स में, एमएस में, वो क्यों हो रही है? वो हो रही है सिर्फ डिग्री के लिए। वो सिर्फ किसके लिए हो रही है? डिग्री के लिए, कि यार मैं सबसे क्विकेस्ट रिसर्च करूं और मेरा एक पेपर बन जाए, मेरा एक डिसर्टेशन बन जाए और मेरी डिग्री मुझे मिल जाए, दैट्स इट, अल्लाह अल्लाह खैर सब। ठीक है ना? तो जब तक मैंने क्या कहा कि इन डेप्थ इंस्टिंक्ट नहीं होगी, आप रिसर्च नहीं कर सकते। और रिसर्च कल्चर पाकिस्तान में, ये आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट दैट रिसर्च कल्चर इज नॉट वेरी मच वेल डेवलप्ड इन पाकिस्तान। but this is the duty of us as an student एंड एज एन मेंटर ऑल्सो. अगर हम एज ए कॉलेज उसकी बात करते हैं एकेडमिशन की, तो हमारा फर्ज है कि हम इस रिसर्च कल्चर को डेवलप करें. गॉट माय पॉइंट? सो नंबर 1, डोंट टेक द शॉर्टकट्स. नंबर 2, don't take the research for your like degrees, and number 3, do a good research whether it's a very small research. जैसे मैं आप एग्जांपल एक कोट करता हूँ, आप आज ही जाके, भले रिसर्च 50 दफा ये हो चुकी है, आज ही से आप ये तैयार करो कि वी वांट टू फाइंड आउट द स्ट्रेस लेवल ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर टू फाइनल ईयर अराउंड द एग्जाम्स, फाइनल एग्जाम्स, कि स्टूडेंट का स्ट्रेस लेवल क्या होता है जब फाइनल एग्जाम्स उनके करीब आते हैं. सो यू विल फाइंड अ डिफरेंट ग्राफ्स दैट द फर्स्ट ईयर का स्टूडेंट बहुत स्ट्रेसफुल होगा, सेकंड ईयर का उससे कम होगा, थर्ड ईयर का उससे कम होगा, फोर्थ ईयर फाइनल का फिर ग्राफ बहुत हाई चला जाएगा, स्ट्रेसफुल लेवल बहुत बढ़ जाएगा. ये भी रिसर्च है. Got my point? So I think the research culture, it is the duty of both of us, like as an academician, as an administrator, or as a student. ठीक है? और कोई? अच्छा, एक आया मेरे पास, हमजा ने, किसी ने कहा है, here we do not have a proper mentorship. No one have the much courage to start a research as without being known to things. वही बात नहीं है ना मेंटोर. आप इनिशिएटिव लो. आप हमजा जिस भी मेडिकल कॉलेज में हो, आप किसी ऐसे दोस्त को ढूंढो, या किसी ऐसे मेडिकल कॉलेज में अगर जाते हो जहां पे आपको लगता है कि रिसर्च एनवायरनमेंट है, आप वहां अटैच हो जाओ. यू डू रिसर्च देयर, नो प्रॉब्लम. और फिर रिसर्च तो देखो, हाँ सबसे बड़ी बात, रिसर्च जो है उसका कल्चर क्यों नहीं डेवलप हो रहा? कि रिसर्च में ग्लैमर नहीं है. रिसर्च का आदमी चुपचाप काम करता है, उसका नाम इतना ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं होता जितना क्या क्लिनिशियंस का नाम हो जाता है. ठीक है ना? किसी ने कहा है कि पर्सनली आई वुड से ईदर वी वांट टू लर्न फ्रॉम अदर्स और टीच अदर्स. दिस इज बेसिकली रिसर्च दैट डिफरेंशिएट बोथ ऑफ दिस. दैट्स वेरी गुड. अच्छा, इसके अलावा किसी ने कहा है the main reasons behind this is our education system, like we mainly go for marks. That's it, what I want to say. As when I started taking interest in research, my family took insurance. मेरी स्टूडेंट इफेक्ट नहीं होंगी. दिस इज माय माइनर रीजन. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज ट्राइंग टू से. Then you said, someone says, personally I would say either we want to learn from others or teach others. Yes, research must be accounted for. Some significance of practical life must be proven beneficial for the society. Students should consider it as a duty of helpful. अच्छा, मैं एक और बात आपको यह कहना चाहता हूँ यार, हर वक्त ये मत सोचो कि यार ये बहुत हेल्पफुल होनी चाहिए, ये बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट होनी चाहिए, इसका रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा आना चाहिए. भाई मैं आपको कहता हूँ, आज ही जाके एक रिव्यू आर्टिकल लिख दो डायबिटीज मेलाइटिस के बारे में. आज ही लिखो, आप लिखना शुरू करो. आप 100 लिटरेचर रिव्यूज पकड़ो और उनके ऊपर आप डायबिटीज मेलाइटिस के ऊपर लिटरेचर रिव्यू लिखो और रिव्यू आर्टिकल लिखो. और 10 स्टूडेंट्स को मैं कहता हूँ 10 का रिव्यू आर्टिकल डिफरेंट होगा और 10 की इंफॉर्मेशन नॉलेज डिफरेंट होगी. और जब उस 10 को 100 आदमी पढ़ेंगे तो उनका इंफॉर्मेशन लेवल डिफरेंट हो जाएगा. सो रिसर्च को ये मत सोचो कि यार मुझे इसको बहुत अभी से इस लेवल पे मुझे बहुत कोई जबरदस्त चीज करनी. छोटी छोटी रिसर्च करो. Some says, I think it has a less weightage as compared to other subjects, so we are mostly focused. Yes, this is the reason. This is the reason that because इसके कोई marks नहीं होते, इसको कोई पूछता नहीं है, इसकी कोई accountability नहीं है, तो इसको हम क्यों लेकर आते? तो मेरे बच्चों, हर चीज की accountability नहीं होती है, कुछ accountabilities हमारे अंदर भी होती है. आप रिसर्च करो. आप अगर फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट हो तो कितने स्टूडेंट फाइनल ईयर के यहाँ पे इस वक्त? हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली? मैं उनको एक क्वेश्चन देता हूँ, मुझे इसका जवाब दो. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर फ्रॉम फाइनल ईयर? कुछ है फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट? चलो, मैं फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट्स को ये एक सजेशन देता हूँ कि आप में से कितने हैं जो मेडिसिन के अंदर डायबिटीज पढ़ते हैं, कॉर्नरी आर्टरी डिजीजेस पढ़ते हैं, या जो है अपना कोई हार्ट डिजीज के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. और कितनों ने फ्रेमिंगम हार्ट स्टडीज पढ़ी हुई है? कितनों को जेएनसी की गाइडलाइंस पता है कि ब्लड प्रेशर कैसे चेक किया जाता है? कितनों को पता है? नहीं पता ना, बहुत सौ को नहीं पता होगा. जेएनसी गाइडलाइंस नहीं पता होंगी. कितनों को ये पता है कि वर्ल्ड डायबिटिक एसोसिएशन या अमेरिकन डायबिटिक एसोसिएशन का क्या क्राइटेरिया है किसी को डायबिटीज लेबल करने का, WHO का क्या क्राइटेरिया है किसी को डायबिटिक लेवल करने का। हम डायबिटीज तो पूरी पढ़ लेंगे कि जी डायबिटीज कैसे होती है, पैंक्रियास क्या करता है क्या नहीं करता, मगर कभी हमने ये नहीं देखा कि उस डायबिटीज का प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीकेशन क्या है। गॉट माय पॉइंट। तो मेरा कहने का मतलब है कि अपना माइंड थोड़ा सा चेंज करो, अपना थोड़ा सा एक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू चेंज करो, ठीक है, एंड देन जो है उसको आप रिसर्च की तरफ लेके आओ। गॉट माय पॉइंट। एनीवन एल्स? Yes, anyone else who want to ask any question? Anyone else? आप माइक ओपन कर सकते हैं। What happened? अच्छा, अभी पूछा है किसी ने, we rarely have a researcher around। नहीं भाई, रिसर्चर हम सब हैं, whom we see working and follow him। क्यों? आपके पास आजकल ऑनलाइन जमाना है मेरे भाई। आप यू विल, आप YouTube देखो, आप Facebook देखो, आप, बिकॉज आप, you are living in the era of computer, in the era of IT, high tech IT. You can contact like a researcher in Japan, you can contact a research, like you can contact a researcher in America, you can contact a researcher in Canada. Why you need researcher around you? मेरा तो यही तो कहने का मकसद है। आप एक चीज लिखो, why not games introducing promoting this, set any event in the college। why event? अगेन वही वही थी, हम लोग इवेंट चाहते हैं, हम लोग चाहते हैं कोई आए हमारा हाथ पकड़े और हमको चलाना शुरू करे। देखो ये सिंक जो एसोसिएशन है, इसने भी इसके ऊपर एक लिया है ना, एक स्टेप लिया है ना कि रिसर्च के लिए इसने रिसर्च कल्चर की बात की। तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ यार, आप अभी जाओ ऑनलाइन, आपके दिमाग में कोई आइडिया है, आप उसको सर्च करो, आपको 50 प्रोफेसर्स मिलेंगे जो उस चीज पे रिसर्च कर रहे होंगे। आप किसी को भी ईमेल करो, वो आपको जवाब दे देगा। आई थिंक वी आर, अच्छा किसी का मैसेज आया, आई थिंक वी आर नॉट कंसीडरिंग इट एज अ सब्जेक्ट नाउ अ डेज। रिसर्च इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द इंटरनेशनल एंट्रेंस। वही बात, हम इंटरनेशनल होगा यूएसएमएल प्लैब तो हम करेंगे, वरना हम नहीं करेंगे। चलो उसके लिए कर लो। Sir, how the shortcuts be considered in the research field? Like if you have a limited time period, to what extent could it be considered? भाई shortcut तो किसी में भी अच्छा नहीं है ना। Shortcut is not good for anything. Either it is your studies, either it is research, either it is like किसी भी चीज में shortcut अच्छा। Sir, what should be the initial step for a first year MBBS student to get into research? Should it be started at the level or we should start? नहीं, आप अपने किसी कॉलीग के साथ अटैच हो जाओ तो थर्ड ईयर फोर्थ ईयर फाइनल ईयर का हो, यू कैन बाइंड अटैच विद देम, यू कैन लाइक डू योर ओन रिसर्च, मेक अ ग्रुप, स्लोली करो। आप अपनी स्टडीज को ज्यादा टाइम दो। इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आप जो है वो हर साल कोई नई रिसर्च करो। भाई आप ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ 2 इयर्स 3 इयर्स एक रिसर्च करो, फिर 2 इयर्स 3 इयर्स एक दूसरी रिसर्च करो। सर, वी आर द जनरेशन ऑफ instant gratification, even we want to research but we procrastinate because of no immediate results। it gets validated by peers and family, even our institution। मुझे समझ में नहीं आया जैन क्या कहना चाह रहे हो। how to motivate ourselves from the research। हाँ, how to motivate, यही तो बात है, इसमें कैसे मोटिवेशन मिले। तो मैंने अभी आपको एक बात बताई, रिसर्च उस चीज में करो जिसमें आपका इंटरेस्ट हो, जो आप चाहते हो। देखो भाई, सक्सेस की जो है ना वो तो मेहनत है। सो हार्ड वर्क इज द सक्सेस की। आप you do research in a topic which you like think is very good for you। आप गेमिंग पे कर लो। how many of the students are playing PUBG and what are the effects of playing PUBG on their like thumbs and the index finger। मैं तो PUBG नहीं खेलता, आप उस पे कर लो। आप कर लो कि भाई स्टूडेंट्स जो है वो हॉस्टल में ज्यादा सोते हैं या देर से उठते हैं तो उनकी हेल्थ पे क्या इश्यूज हो रहे हैं या क्या होता है, आप उस पे कर लो। रिसर्च इज लाइक अराउंड अस। what is the thing which no one is discussed is that we face language barrier। कौन सा language barrier? no language barrier। आजकल के जमाने में आप गूगल का जमाना है, आपको मैं पश्तो अगर आप बोलोगे तो मैं भी गूगल पे ट्रांसलेट करके पश्तो देख लूंगा क्या होता है। आप अपने साथ एक ट्रांसलेटर लेके जाते हो, यू आर द स्टूडेंट्स, आपके साथ तो स्टूडेंट्स तो पठान भी होते हैं, बलोची भी होते हैं, सिंधी भी होते हैं, मेमन भी होते हैं, उर्दू भी होते हैं, पंजाबी भी होते हैं, बहुत सारी लैंग्वेज तो हमें आती हैं। सर, इज देयर एनी प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर द रिसर्च, कुड यू गाइड अस? यस, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म्स। आप आ जाओ, हमारे पास आओ, आप किसी प्लेटफॉर्म से ढूंढो। आप, मैंने क्या बोला अभी, आप कोई भी रिसर्च टॉपिक लो, गो एंड लिटरेचर सर्च। आप जब लिटरेचर सर्च करोगे, उसका जो प्रिंसिपल इन्वेस्टिगेटर होगा उसका ईमेल आईडी निकालो, जिसने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, उसको ईमेल करो, देखो क्या जवाब देता है। हो सकता है 10 को करोगे तो एक जवाब देगा, एंड देन यू कैन कांटेक्ट विद हिम। Should students of first year go for article review or clinical laboratory research? Anything, but article वो स्ट्रेस में है तो वो आराम से कर सकता है। What is एप्लीकेशन चाहिए हमें, जो है डिग्री पूरी करनी है? नहीं, रिसर्च जब अच्छी करोगे तो डिग्री भी मिल जाएगी। रिसर्च जब अच्छी करोगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली पब्लिकेशंस भी होंगी, क्योंकि ऑटोमेटिकली बनता है पब्लिकेशन। उसे कैसे सबमिट करें और कैसे पब्लिश होगा, प्लीज गाइड। if you have prepared a research paper, आप पहले खुद जज करो कि वो रिसर्च आपका बहुत अगर हाई फाई किस्म का है तो हमारे पास HEC की 3 कैटेगरीज आती हैं, X एंड Y। ये जर्नल की कैटेगरीज कहलाती है। आप HEC की वेबसाइट पे जाओ, जर्नल कैटेगरी सिलेक्ट करो, और अगर आपकी रिसर्च बहुत ही हाई फाई आप समझते हो तो W और X कैटेगरी के जर्नल सिलेक्ट करो। उस जर्नल की आप जो ऑथर्स गाइडलाइन है उसको पढ़ो, और अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट गाइडलाइन अपना आर्टिकल एडिट करो एंड देन उसको सेंड कर दो। चेक करेंगे या क्वेरी मांगेंगे आपसे। और अगर आपको समझ लगता है कि नहीं, मेरी रिसर्च जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा हाई फाई नहीं है, तो आप वाई कैटेगरीज में जाओ और वाई कैटेगरीज में जाओ। कैन रिसर्च solely is difficult and like many flaws, but in teams to deal with the fear of not public ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाएगी। पब्लिकेशन प्लेटफॉर्म, मैंने कहा ना, पब्लिकेशन प्लेटफॉर्म आप HEC पे जाओ, आर्टिकल वो जर्नल्स की लिस्ट पकड़ो, हजारों जर्नल्स हैं, उनसे कोई भी जर्नल सेलेक्ट करो, उसकी ऑथरशिप गाइडलाइंस पढ़ो, जो ऑथर्स गाइडलाइन के आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि लिटरेचर रिव्यू करके मेथोडोलॉजी को सिंपल as much as possible. So
Yes, sir. Sir,
I
sir,
think
thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful presentation. We had our doubts and it's all cleared now, sir. Basically, you answered each and every question. That these are the questions, that, sir, that we received yesterday, last night, before the webinar as well. And sir, we would like to thank you again on behalf of my SYNCH National Research Team. Actually, all the members listening, I want to let you know they said had plans for the weekends, and we requested, sir, we want to have you on the webinar. Your guidance is mandatory for this webinar. So, sir, thank you again. Thank you for
okay.
interacting.
Thank you very much. So nice of you, and good luck. And my suggestion and my advice that your studies first, but research is like a very mandatory thing, and do research in every part of your life, especially in your medical field. And don't worry, बिल्कुल नहीं घबराओ, कोई बहुत बड़ी चीज नहीं है, आप इसको आराम से कर सकते हो, ठीक है? थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
अल्लाह हाफिज।
Thank you for your time, sir. Okay, so all the members listening, I want to let you know that we will take your question. We have two other guests as well, so we will take your questions. Okay, so stay with us. Your questions we have in your account, your questions. So don't you worry, guys. We will answer all your queries. Okay, so I would now like to invite our next guest. So, do you hear me, Mr. Fizan? Am I audible?
Yes, I do.
Okay, okay. So we have with us Fizan. I have introduced Fizan before starting the meeting. So Fizan would briefly introduce you about the research culture in Pakistan. He's basically from RMU, and all the guys attending from the Punjab and Sindh do know that the research culture in RMU is so good. So we wanted to have Fizan on our guest panel. Fizan, welcome, and we are very pleased to have you. You can start sharing the screen, and you can start on your presentation if you have made.
Okay, thank you so much for the kind introduction. First of all, I would like to thank SYNCH Pakistan for giving me this opportunity to speak about this a very important topic in medical college and in medical studies in Pakistan. And I am really honored to share my point of view on this topic. With that being said, let me first of all share my screen. I just want to ask two questions. Am I audible enough, and is my screen visible or not?
Yes, yes, Fazan, your screen is visible and you are audible. Yes, Fazan.
That's great. Okay. So topics that I would be speaking about. And first of all, I would like to start with a quote. It says that what is research but a blind date with knowledge? And I really like this quote because we think of research as something different than our medical studies and all. But it's actually assimilating knowledge, taking up knowledge and assimilating it and then putting it out in the form of an article. So you don't really have to differentiate research from knowledge. It's basically what you're studying. All of the books that you study are actually taken from research papers. If you open your book and go towards the end of a chapter, you will see something known as bibliography. Bibliography has basically all the references of the articles from which they took the book. So research is basically something that's knowledge, but you're sort of assimilating it by reading the articles, processing it by writing your point of view or by doing research, and then putting it out in the form of your own publication or your own research. And with that, I would like to first of all go for the researches. The research is a complex thing. It's not a pretty easy thing that you can do in a 1 or 2 day. So, and there aren't any, I would say, institutes that would teach you about research like KIPS or academies or colleges that would teach you about research. Sure, some of the colleges have lectures on research. For example, we in RMU we have some lectures on research, but some others don't. And to be very honest, there are some things that they do not tell you in the lectures. So for that, I basically assimilated some resources that I personally used to learn research and that I and my peers as well used and learned research from. These two slides will basically tell you about them. And the first resource, the best resource is YouTube. I would like to emphasize that YouTube channels are one of the best resources if you want to learn anything, not just research, anything at all. And at second, we have the workshops. Workshops are hosted by different societies, such as SYNCH also hosts workshops, and there are other workshops which are hosted by some other societies of research in different medical colleges. I have heard personally from RMQ, KE, Ilama Iqbal, Aga Khan AKU also holds it. And what you can do is basically you can attend these workshops. They're open for every medical student and even for postgraduate students as well. So you can attend those workshops and they would basically teach you about research. What we are doing here is basically a workshop on the research culture of Pakistan. What they would do is they would teach you about the whole how to do research, etc. And then lastly, I would say Coursera. The thing about Coursera is that it's paid. Unfortunately, there are some resources that you can get there for free. There are some lectures and some skills there that you can get for free, but most of it is paid, and that's the downside that YouTube does not have. Over here, I've listed three of the top research YouTube channels that I found. The thing about research is that you first of all need to learn how to do the research methodology and how to learn the analysis, because that's an integral component of the research. Article writing is something that we do from our childhood. You write story, that's an article. You write essay, that's an article. you write comprehensions, you give your English language article. But what you do not know is the research and methodology, is the research analysis. So for that, I basically found out some YouTube channels. This is the first of all, this is the University of Alabama Libraries, YouTube channel. In this, I would like to focus on this playlist that shows PubMed. The thing about PubMed is basically that it's the holy grail of research articles. You can research any article on PubMed. Like if I just go and search hematoma on this, and it shares about subdural hematoma. This is a type of hematoma that's made in your brain. The dura mater is a meninges, and it has 13,500 articles on just this topic, ranging all the way from 1927 to 2023. So you need to find a way to search this whole wide search engine. And that's what we call literature review. So for that, we have this PubMed tutorials playlist on the University of Alabama YouTube channel. If you want, I would send these all of these links to the organizers, and they can send you in the WhatsApp group as well, or whatever they use for coordinating with the participants. Then secondly, I have this Research by Design. Research by Design is basically a YouTube channel that focuses on many things, many things. But what I want to show you is this basic SPSS tutorial, Research by Design. Now, when I say the word basic, it means it's a beginner. It's a starting point. And this is the 8 videos playlist of how to use SPSS for beginners by Research by Design. Or you can also use this 51 videos playlist if you want to go a bit in depth. But these 8 are enough. These are enough for starting your first research. These 51 videos are then for additional research topics, additional research styles, and additional research methodologies. And lastly, if you have done the basics, if you've done your first research, this is the holy grail of SPSS playlist. It has 236 videos. You do not have to watch each and every one. What you can do is that you can watch only those which you need. For example, if I only need to see chi-square or t-test or methodology videos, I can search Dr. Todd Grande and space chi-square or space t-test, which I'll show you right now. And this, and he has 6 videos on chi-square as well. And if I search t-test, we will also have a video on this. Dr. Todd on SPSS. You see one sample t-test, 2 sample t-test, comparison t-test, paired t-test, everything is here. And I would also like to say that I will be taking questions in the end. So be sure that you have in the chat or anywhere so that we can come to those when I'm done with the presentation. Anyways, this was YouTube. Then we have workshops. Like I already told you, you can know about workshops from different websites. WhatsApp is the best way to know about workshops. Moreover, you can also learn them from LinkedIn. This is the LinkedIn homepage, and if you search on research and medical and you click enter, what it would do is basically it would show you all of some things that are related to research and medical, and you want to see all of this. This is basically on my home page and on my feed, and you can see that this is someone who just published an article. What I can see is that JAMA Surgery is a good research article. It's a good research journal. And then I can see their topic. And what I can see is I can open up their article and then read the article and make up a topic of my own, because that's how topics are made from previous articles. And this person showed about his work on collaborative work on outcomes of stroke. Then we also have this girl. She has posted about a webinar series that she recently saw. So that's how you know about webinars. And lastly, Coursera. Coursera is an online website. I'm sure I haven't logged in the Coursera for a long time, actually for a whole year, but never mind, here it is. And if you search on it, SPSS basics or anything, what you will do is that you can find a whole course on it. Now, most of the courses are paid, I know, but there are some for free as well. And so that's how basically you can search courses on Coursera as well. You can see there are 39 courses for Coursera, and there's Python, there's IBM data analysis. IBM is the company that made SPSS. So you can simply open it up and apply here. Most of them don't even take any money for, applying. They enroll for free. See, this is a free one. So that's how you can find resources to learn research. That deals with the first thing that I want to talk about. The second was how to get funds. Now, first of all, let me tell you that PubMed is free. You can get Word for free. You can write article for free. It's like up to you. You can get citation managers mentally for free. You can crack SPSS for free. It's paid, but you can get a crack easily from Pirate Bay. Now, all of this is free. Why do you need research? Then why do you need funds for it? Why do you need money for it? SPSS is basically the software which is used to learn research. I don't know if you can see this, but this thing that I'm circling right here is basically SPSS. And it basically tells you the whole analysis of the study, chi-square, t-test, then the regression, linear regression, logistic regression, everything it's done on SPSS. That's your go-to software for research. You can also use other softwares, but it's the most common and has the easiest user interface. Now, why do we need funds? First of all, publication in a journal. There are journals that take money for publishing articles. Curious, for example, is a journal that takes around 80,000-90,000 for an article. And for half of their articles are free. If you're lucky, you can get it for free. Like I have published researches for free, but Curious also takes some money. So that's how you're going to need the funds for research. And that's the main thing that you're going to need the funds for, like the publication. Then secondly, printing of questionnaires. If you're doing a cross-sectional study, if you're doing a study in which people have to fill out a form, then you're going to also need those form to be printed out so that people can fill it. And that takes some money. Usually it's, I don't know, around the cost of 1,000-2,000 rupees per study, but it's easily replaceable by online forms, by Google Form, SurveyMonkey, Microsoft Forms. So I personally use Google Forms. It's the easiest for me. Then I will come to third point later, but the fourth point, small rewards for participation. We once conducted a study. It was on small children. Basically, we have to see that what role does the household environment of a child play on their activities and on their study outcomes. And for that, children are not willing to fill a form of 20-30 questions. But what we did was we gave them dairy milk. The 30 rupees, back then it was 30 rupees, right now it's 50. 30 rupees dairy milk after they filled the form. And doing that, so what happened was the children, they filled the form very quickly. And so it also cost us, I don't know, around 500-600 rupees to get all the, 5,000-6,000 rupees to get all the 100 or 200 dairy milk. But as you can see, it got the thing done. It got the work done. So that's how you're going to need the funds. And lastly, new interventions, such as if a colleague of mine was doing a study on the efficacy of citrate versus heparin for anticoagulation. You will know that anticoagulation is done via citrate or heparin in clinical setting. And so he was basically doing a comparison between both. But in our college, in our hospitals, heparin was used. Heparin was used. Yep, heparin was used. And so he basically needed to get citrate. And the way he could get citrate was from the shops and from the medical stores. So he needed money for that. So he had to pay it by his own money, but that's what you're going to need the fund as well for. Now we go to the second slide, and this says that how you can get the funds. Now, this is the main thing. First of all, what you can do is that you can ask your college or university for research fund. We at RMC have a small fund for college, for researchers in our college, but it's not much, and they are usually pretty scrutinize the research, and they give it only to 1 or 2 projects a year or something like that. So your best bet would be adding people who can pay for your article. So what we basically do is that there are teachers in our department who basically don't have the time to write articles, but they have good topics and they have good expertise as well. So what we do is we go to them and we say that we will do the research, we will do the whole article writing, but all that we need from you is that you need to pay for the publication cost, and also you have to be the supervisor, because being a supervisor is a necessity for research. You need a supervisor. So what we do is we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We get the supervisor and the one who would fund the publication all in one person. And they usually agree because like I said, the publication cost is hardly 70, 80,000 if you're taking a high amount of publication cost. But if you're doing, you can usually do it for free, or even for, 20, 30,000 or even 50,000 for an article. And now divide that article by 7 or 8 authors, and it comes hardly 5 to 6,000. And to be honest, it's not that much, but usually more than half you can get it for free. I've only like had to pay for 2 of my articles out of 8. The rest 6 I got for free. And I think in about the rest of 6, around 2 more were the articles in which we added these people who would basically pay for the publication cost, and they were also the supervisor as well. Lastly, the HEC Higher Education Commission has an annual grant in it, but it's hardly, it's hard to get into. It basically, it's then again, a large amount of researches and very small amount of grant that they give. So you have to be exceptionally well in your research, and your research have to be phenomenal to get this grant. However, what you can do is you can go to other grant programs in uh, HEC that I think I had it right here. Here. These are all the research grant programs that you can go to and apply for. I personally did not apply for anyone. I've had colleagues who applied, but I didn't follow up and how much did they get and how did they get. But it does work because I've heard that people do get grants from here, but then again, you basically have to need a good research. So personally, I would say that the first you should get some experience doing researches, 2 or 3 researches of good quality. And then what you can do is you can go to these grant areas and then ask for grant for your next project. There's another type of research that basically does not involve using all of this paying methods. That's a review article. A review article is basically you have to go to PubMed and you have to review some articles and then write your own article by what you gained from those review of those articles. Now you don't need any money for that because you're basically doing PubMed is free, Word is free, Mendeley, the software for references is free, and then you are basically like making writing the whole article for free. All that you need is the publication cost, and if you can't find people who would be willing to pay for that, you can easily get paid. And I would now like to ask the organizers if we have enough time to go about the rest of the slides and questions as well. It will take 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, Fazan. So, Fazan, we have collected some questions. In our account, we have the most common question is that when you are starting research, okay, so you have no experience in it. You have already told us about the resources that we can use. So that slide was really, really helpful. I hope we we'll have a screenshot on our gallery and we will just go into it, dig into it whenever
No,
we.
I'll share the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can share the slides and I'll share with the
yeah,
members. Yeah. Okay,
yep,
so
that's
Faizan, the question we've received most commonly is that how to find a research topic. Basically, when we are
okay.
indulging into doing the research, we have too many choices of finding a topic, and then there are some topics that are hard to do research on. So, what are your suggestions on that thing?
Okay, I'll just go to that slide. And yep, finding a good research topic. These are my 4 pearls or 4 key points that you need for a good topic. The first and the foremost is feasibility. Now, imagine you're a second year medical student or first year medical student. You want to do research on, let's just say, stroke patients. It's not feasible for you to go to the stroke unit and then actively follow up on 100 or 200 people and then ask them about how what was their NIHSS score, which is the stroke severity score, and what was their initial presentation, because you don't even know at that point what a clinical presentation means, let alone know about stroke or how it happens, etc. So what I would say is that instead of uh, choosing this topic for your first research in first or second medical year, why not save this topic for your second research and do a topic on a more minor and do a topic that's more feasible for you, like uh, you know don't do stress. Personally, I would recommend against doing the stress on prof or stress in host slides or stress before exam, because it's too much research on that point. Like here in RMQ we get 10 articles per year that that's about basically the stress and anxiety in medical students. There are journals, especially curious, who have a policy that they would not accept articles which are basically on stress in medical students and medical residents. So don't do on research, don't do on stress, please. Find a new topic. There are many topics. You can do eating habits of students uh, before and after cough. You can do the changes in eating habits of students at the time of annual exams. A student from RMU actually did this research last year, and I liked it. I was the one who basically reviewed and accepted their synopsis to be presented, and I really like the idea that some people have changes in eating disorders. Some people, they have diarrhea before the exam. Some people have constipation. Some do not take enough diet and end up having malnourished. So they basically did research on that. So do a topic that's feasible for you first, especially in first and second year. I would personally say do a questionnaire research in your first and even maybe even your second year. That's a beginner level research. That's easy to do, and you can easily get the forms filled by your peers as well. Now, secondly, then once you are in third year or once your clinical rotation starts, go towards clinical topics. Clinical topics are more valuable and they are more easy to do. Now, the thing is, secondly thing is novel topic. How do you find a novel topic? And the answer to that is you can add anything new. I have an example for this one. Basically, this was an article, the efficacy of catheter ablation for atrial fibrillation and blah blah. This was an article which was written by Fatma Fraz, Muhammad Ibad, and Dinesh Sabir with Riba Ghaffar. Now, all four of these, as you can see, are one. And if I expand it, one is Department of Medicine, Al Medical University. They are my colleagues. Now, all these are my colleagues. They did an article of catheter ablation on patients who have atrial fibrillation in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Now, this is a disease, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And what basically a resident from our cardiology department came to me and he said that I recently saw this articles of your peer, but there's one thing else that I would like to add. There are some people who have cancer and they still have conflicting views on whether we should use this thing for people with cancer or not. So what we did was we did another review article, which basically was essentially the same efficacy of catheter ablation for atrial fibrillation, but it was not in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It was in people who have cancer. And we have right now sent it to the journal for publication, and they're like, you know, going it through the review process. So you do not need a whole out of the blue topic. What you do need is a topic and slightly modify something. A few examples that I can give that one of my topic for research was the the knowledge of fluoroscopy and radiation hazards in orthopedic department doctors, in orthopedic doctors. So this study was basically on how much the people in orthopedic department know about the hazards of radiation and do they do adequate care to protect themselves or not. A fellow of mine did this whole research, essentially a similar thing, but what he did was he just changed the department from orthopedic department, he changed it to neurosurgery department. The thing about orthopedic and neurosurgery is these are complex, operations. So they need different devices which use radiation. So doctors in neurosurgery and orthopedics need radiation protection devices. So they are essentially similar in this regards. But what he did was instead of orthopedic, he can change it to neurosurgery, and both of our articles are published right now. And surprisingly, in the same journal as well. So that's how you can find novelty in your topic. You don't have to do out of the blue. What you can do is find something that you can change and then reciprocate. Thirdly, reciprocate a study conducted in other countries. One of my articles is about acute pancreatitis, and basically its prognostic factors that whether RBC width, RBC, MCV, RBC hemoglobin play a role in checking the mortality of patients with acute pancreatitis. This study was conducted in USA, but USA does not have a high profile of villus acute pancreatitis because people in USA consume large amounts of alcohol, so half of their population was alcoholics. Here at Pakistan, we do not have that much alcoholics. We do one or two, but not more. So what I did was I did this study in Pakistan, but I changed the population because the population was people with acute pancreatitis and we did not have alcoholics. So it's bound that our study will have different research, and it did. the mortality was lower in Pakistan because most of the acute pancreatitis patients out during surgery, the person survives. So it was a complete new research, but it was almost 90% exact similar to that USA research. That's how you get a new topic. And lastly is do a different or advanced analysis. That's what we do in review articles. There have been many studies on the efficacy of pressure ablation for atrial fibrillation and hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. If I do it, search it right now, there you go. There are 25 articles on this. There are 25 articles on this alone topic. What my friend did was he basically reviewed all of these 25 articles in a meta-analysis and systematic review, and he basically did a better analysis. What he did was he pooled all of the studies and then did a review article. Now, these studies had 100, 200, 250 participants. My friend did a review article and it had 18, 17 patients, automatically making his research superior to others because he has a bigger sample pool. He has a wide research population, all from all of these articles. So review articles are pretty solid. They are pretty good, and you do not need to do the uh, step of data collection in review article. You just have to do literature review. It takes some time, yes, but it's less monotonous than data collection, in my opinion. And personally, I hate data collection, honestly speaking. So that's answer to this question. If you have any other questions, please do ask.
Thank you so much, Faizan. I hope all the queries about finding the right research topic is now clear.
Yeah,
Faizan, the resources that you have shared, we will all the members listening, we will share the PowerPoint slides of Faizan with you. Faizan, is if it's feasible for you, we can share the slides after the meeting.
yeah, sure. I'll WhatsApp you those slides after the meeting.
Okay. So the my department will share the slides with you, all the people in the meeting that are attending this, so you can note it down the resources that Fazan have mentioned. Okay, thank you so much, Fazan. We are short on time, as you know. We wanted to
Yes.
have it for the 2 hours, but sir was wonderful. Sir Asif was explaining everything wonderfully, and you have descriptively defined all of the queries that we collected throughout the time. Thank you so much, Fazan. Thank you so much. We were very glad to have you on the panel.
The honor's all mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. So I would now like to invite Mr. Gaurav Maheshwari on the panel. Okay, so a little bit introduction of Mr. Gaurav is that he is a very friendly senior, a very good mentor you can find. I will share the details with you of the Mr. Gaurav if you any one of you want to contact with him. He'll guide you. He's the wonderful human being. I have interacted with him. He is the one in the university pioneer researcher, because many of the guys attending this webinar, I know many of you have no knowledge about the research, and he was actually the one wanted to do research, and he was the one that was approaching to the mentors, to the research departments, finding resources, and he did it all by himself. So I really like those type of people who have no resources, nowhere to go, no any mentors, and then they just jump on the stage and they are there to perform. So, Mr. Gaurav, do you hear me? We would like to have you on our panel.
Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Gaurav, I would like to send you some questions that we've received, and then you'll answer. First of all, welcome to the panel.
Thank you so much, Eman, for having me. Thanks, Synch. It's an honor for me to join this session. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Gaurav, actually, as you have seen and all the members listening, I would like to let you know that we started this webinar with the professor so he can clear your queries. Then we had the researcher from RMU. He kept researching on many topics and he had many publications. So he could tell you about the resources. And now we have a very friendly senior with us. So the questions, like we have very childish questions. So Mr. Gaurav, you can cooperate with me. Like, we don't know how to find a mentor, and if we know that we have a mentor, we don't know how to approach that mentor. So the first question we received is, if we have a mentor and if we don't have a mentor, so what are the basic steps approaching a mentor, requesting him to help you conduct a research. So please throw some light on it.
Eman, actually, mentor is a basic pillar of your research. If you have zero knowledge, if you want to pursue with a mentor who is very cooperative, who have great experience regarding research, they will push you. वो आपको मतलब बिल्कुल बेसिक से उठाकर आपको एक अच्छा रिसर्चर बना सकता है, ठीक है। अभी है कि मेंटोर किस तरह हम ढूंढेंगे, ठीक है। पहले तो आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर देखें डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट में किस में रिसर्च हो रही है, ठीक है, और कौन एक्टिवली रिसर्च के अंदर इन्वॉल्व है, ठीक है। उनसे जाके मिलें, अगर वो उनके पास टाइम हो, वो कोऑपरेट कर रहे हैं तो वो ठीक है। अगर वहां से यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर, अगर आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर रिसर्च का बिल्कुल कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है, ठीक है, या इनिशियल स्टेज में जैसे मैं था, यहाँ पर हमारी फर्स्ट हुई थी, ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज में, तो मुझे उस टाइम जरूर मुश्किल हुई थी। बट उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, स्टूडेंट्स, उनको मैं गाइड कर रहा हूँ, या जो मुझे पता है जिस तरह दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट में हो रहे हैं, तो उनको गाइड करने के लिए हूँ। अगर आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर मेंटोर कोई है नहीं, ठीक है, मतलब कोई रिसर्च के अंदर इन्वॉल्व ज्यादा एक्टिवली नहीं है, तो आप लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल पर, जैसे फैजान भाई ने बोला कि लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल पर आप जा सकते हैं, या डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो रिसर्च के ऊपर काम कर रही हैं उनके साथ कोलोबरेट कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। बट उसके लिए बेसिक आपको ये होना चाहिए कि आपको बेसिक नॉलेज होनी चाहिए रिसर्च की। ऐसे नहीं बिल्कुल भी आप जीरो पर हो, ठीक है, तभी वो आपसे कोऑपरेट करेंगे जब वो देखेंगे कि आपके अंदर कुछ है, ठीक है। इसमें यही कहूंगा कि अगर आप पहले अच्छे से एक लर्न कर ले रिसर्च है क्या, ठीक है। रिसर्च इज थोड़ा है, मतलब बिल्कुल बेसिक नॉलेज है, ठीक है, बट जितना आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे उतने ही उसके अंदर आगे चलते जाएंगे, ठीक है, आपकी अच्छी पब्लिकेशन होगी। फर्स्ट अगर एक आप केस रिपोर्ट स्टार्ट करते हैं, ठीक है, केस रिपोर्ट पब्लिश हो गई, आप जाके किसी मेंटोर को किसी को दिखाएंगे कि तो ये सर मैंने ऑलरेडी एक रिसर्च की हुई है, ये मेरी केस रिपोर्ट बनी हुई है। उसके बाद वो भी इंटरेस्ट लेंगे आपके अंदर के यार इस बंदे के अंदर कुछ काबिलियत है। तो 1.5 साल के बेसिक आपको नॉलेज हो, ठीक है, वो नॉलेज को जितना अप्लाई करेंगे उतनी प्रैक्टिस 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 के साथ आपकी रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन होती रहेंगी। जी एमान।
थैंक यू। जी जी।
तो मैं यही बताता चलूं कि मैं एज अ जैसे यहाँ पर कुछ क्वेश्चंस आ रहे थे कि सर हमें क्लियर है कि ना किस तरह स्टार्ट करें रिसर्च वगैरह। मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताता चलूं कि मैं यहाँ पर फर्स्ट बेच से बिलोंग कर रहा था, यहाँ रिसर्च का बिल्कुल कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं था, मुझे ये नहीं पता था किससे जाके मिलूं, बट मुझे ये था कि रिसर्च करनी है क्योंकि मुझे आगे सीवी अपनी स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है, ठीक है। तो मैंने पहले यही आइडेंटिफाई किया था कि है ना किसके पास में जाऊँ, ठीक है। मुझे माशाल्लाह एक अच्छे मेंटोर मिले डॉक्टर मंसूर अहमद काजी, जिन्होंने अच्छे से गाइड किया, ठीक है। हर स्टेप पर गाइड करते गए, बट करना खुद को, ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं कि टोटली उन पर डिपेंडेंट हो जाए कि सर ये भी आप हमें करके दें, ये भी आप हमें करके दें, ठीक है। वो जस्ट आपको गाइड करेंगे, करना आपको खुद को है। जितना ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो आपको उतना ही फायदा होगा, ठीक है। पहली बात, मेंटोर अच्छा एक कोई मिल गया तो उससे बढ़कर कोई अच्छी बात नहीं है, ठीक है। दूसरी बात, अगर आपको रिसर्च स्टार्ट करनी है तो आपके पास अच्छी टीम होनी चाहिए, डेडिकेटेड टीम। मैंने जब स्टार्ट की थी मुझे कोई इस तरह नहीं मिल रहा था, तो मैं अकेला ही लग गया एक मेंटोर को लेकर, ठीक है। और उसके बाद एक और मिल गया होता है, ठीक है, जिसके साथ मैंने कोलैबोरेट किया था। बट मैं यही सजेस्ट करूंगा, मिनिमम आपके पास 4 या 5 ऑथर्स होने चाहिए। काम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगा, जितना काम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगा उतना आपके लिए इजी होगा, फिजिबल होगा, ठीक है। आप टायर्ड नहीं हो जाएंगे बिल्कुल के बस मुझे कंप्लीट करनी है किसी भी तरह, और वर्कलोड आपके ऊपर अकेले के ऊपर आ गया तो मतलब आप छोड़ देंगे, और बिल्कुल भी आपके अंदर मोटिवेशन नहीं बचेगी कि मैं इस रिसर्च जो मैंने स्टार्ट किया वो कंप्लीट करूं। अगर एक बार रिसर्च आपने एक पर आपका पब्लिश हो जाता है, ठीक है, उसके बाद आपके अच्छे कॉन्टेक्ट बनेंगे, और वो दूसरे भी देखेंगे कि यार इसके अंदर कुछ है, ये रिसर्च अच्छी कर सकता है, या लेडीज ने इसका एक्सपीरियंस है। तो इस तरह नेटवर्किंग बनेंगे, और नेक्स्ट उनका अगर कोई होगा कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट, वो आपको उसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व करेंगे। इसी तरह ये जी।
Okay, that was great. अच्छा, Mr. Gaurav, you told us कि अगर हमें mentor मिल भी जाता है तो firstly हमें उसे इतना काम करके दिखाना है कि that he find us कि हम लोग भी interested हैं research करने में and we are serious to do the research so that that mentor can take us like importance आपको दे रहे हैं वो आगे तक आपको हर चीज प्रोवाइड करने के लिए। और पहली बात आपने बिल्कुल सही डिस्कस करी कि अगर हम खुद अपना इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाएंगे, हम खुद ज्यादा उस पेपर पे वर्क नहीं करेंगे, तो जाहिर सी बात है आपका मेंटोर को यही लगेगा कि लाइक एवरी अदर स्टूडेंट यू आर नॉन सीरियस इन इट एंड ही वुड गिव यू द इम्पोर्टेंस एंड टू गाइड यू forward. So okay, so
Yes.
the next question I received, mostly the students ask कि अगर हम सोलो रिसर्च कर रहे हैं तो उसका अगर हमें नहीं भी मिलता कोई मेंबर के जिसके साथ मिलके हम टीममेट जो है अगर नहीं मिल रहा, हम जिसके साथ मिलकर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, तो अगर हम सोलो रिसर्च करते हैं तो उसको हमें कैसे मैनेज करना है? वो उस पे आपका क्या टेक है? सोलो रिसर्च करनी चाहिए, टीम रिसर्च करनी चाहिए, दोनों के क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स एंड इफ यू आर डूइंग द सोलो रिसर्च देन व्हाट शुड बी योर स्केड्यूल कि आप उसको आखिर तक एंड तक कंप्लीट कर सकें?
देखिए, आपको अगर इनिशियल नॉलेज है, ठीक है, डिफरेंट जैसे फिजा ने बताया कि यूट्यूब चैनल है, उससे आप बेसिक नॉलेज ले लें, ठीक है। अगर आप सोलो अकेले ही काम करना चाह रहे हैं, मतलब आपको कोई इस तरह डेडिकेटेड पार्टनर नहीं मिल रहा है, तो ठीक है, डायरेक्ट केस रिपोर्ट से ना स्टार्ट करें। आप कोशिश करें कि आप कोई डायरेक्ट मतलब ओरिजिनल आर्टिकल से ना स्टार्ट करें। आप बिल्कुल बेसिक अगर स्टार्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, केस रिपोर्ट से कर लें या रिव्यू आर्टिकल से करें। केस रिपोर्ट देखें, नॉर्मली हमारा मोस्टली इंट्रोडक्शन होता है थर्ड या फोर्थ ईयर से वार्ड के अंदर, ठीक है। जैसे हम हिस्ट्री वगैरह लेते हैं, केस रिपोर्ट इज टोटली वही है कि आप पेशेंट का अगर कोई यूनिक केस मिल जाता है, ठीक है, उसकी आप डेटा रहते हैं, ठीक है, और उसके बाद उसी पर या ना आप डिस्कस करते हैं कि ये पहले इतना मतलब इस तरह के आर्टिकल आ चुके, इस तरह के हुई है, बट उसके अंदर यूनिक कोई फाइंडिंग है और वही पब्लिश करना चाह रहे हैं, ठीक है। केस रिपोर्ट बिल्कुल 15 दिनों के अंदर मैक्सिमम आपकी कंप्लीट हो जाएगी और उससे आपको मोटिवेशन मिलेगी कि यार मैंने एक कुछ रिसर्च स्टार्ट किया, बिल्कुल एक मतलब ज्यादा नहीं तो एक बेसिक स्टार्ट कर लिया है, ठीक है। केस रिपोर्ट आप कर ले या रिव्यू आर्टिकल कर ले। जो रिव्यू आर्टिकल में ये होता है कि आप डिफरेंट आर्टिकल्स जो ऑलरेडी अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट है जिस टॉपिक के अंदर, उसके डिफरेंट पबमेड के अंदर जाकर देखेंगे इस आर्टिकल पर पहले किस किस चीज ने रिसर्च की हुई है और उनकी क्या क्या फाइंडिंग है, ठीक है। और उसका कलेक्टिवली एक आप कोई रिजल्ट बनाकर आप कंक्लूजन देकर आप पब्लिश कर सकते हैं। मतलब अगर कोई भी सोलो करना चाह रहा है तो केस रिपोर्ट स्टार्ट कर ले या रिव्यू आर्टिकल से या एडिटर लेटर टू एडिटर से आप है ना सोलो कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। जैसे ये करेंगे आपको मतलब एक सीवी आपकी बनती जाएगी स्ट्रॉन्ग, ठीक है। वन बाय वन है ना, कोई आपकी पब्लिकेशन होती जाएगी, तो आपकी डिफरेंट कोलोब्रेशन होती जाएंगी। उसके बाद नेटवर्किंग आपकी बढ़ती जाएगी और सामने वाला देखेगा यार इसको आइडिया है, ठीक है, तो वो खुद आपको ऑफर करेंगे, सर मैं ये आप रिसर्च स्टार्ट करना चाह रहा हूँ और अगर आप हमारे मतलब रिव्यू करें, अगर आप हमसे कोलैबोरेट करें तो नेक्स्ट आपको इस तरह अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती मिलती जाएंगी और आपकी सीवी स्ट्रॉन्ग बनती जाएगी। जी
Exactly, that's true. The connections are very important in medical field when you are doing the research. Like, we if we find the seniors like you, if आप लोगों की किसी भी जो लोग सुन रहे हैं अभी, अगर आप लोगों की कॉलेजेस में भी आप लोगों को कोई मेंटोर्स नहीं मिलते हैं, आप लोगों को सीनियर्स इससे नहीं मिलते हैं जो आपके साथ कोलैब करने के लिए रेडी हैं, so you can anytime contact with the sync national department. So our members will guide you, our deputies and executives will guide you who to collab with. ठीक है, you can anytime start any project, we will give you the members. Because अभी जो हमारा सिंह का नेशनल डिपार्टमेंट है, you would agree गौरव भाई that we have this thing के we will provide you the team, we will tell you कि अगर आपने collab करना है तो we have too many members in our department. So everyone actually you have seen in the chat box, everyone want to say कि we do want to conduct the research. So okay, those many people of you who want to conduct the research, contact with each other so you can make a team and you start the find a mentor and then start the research, right? So one last question that I would like to know about this कि अगर हमने रिसर्च कर ली है तो उसका हमारे रेज्यूमे पे क्या इफेक्ट पड़ता है? हम प्लेब के लिए अप्लाई करें, यूएसएमडी के लिए अप्लाई करें, किसी भी आगे हम कोई भी अपना करियर चूज कर रहे हैं एमबीबीएस के बाद, सो व्हाट्स द इफेक्ट ऑफ दिस रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन ऑन योर रेज्यूमे?
जी जी, मेडिकल इज ऑल अबाउट रिसर्च, ठीक है। जो भी आज हम देख रहे हैं इनोवेशंस हुई हैं, जो भी आज ट्रीटमेंट चल रही है, वो पहले रिसर्च हो चुकी हैं, ठीक है। बट एक्चुअली हमारे यहाँ पाकिस्तान के अंदर मैं कल्चर का बताऊँ, रिसर्च कल्चर का बताऊँ कि यहाँ पर बोगस आपको रिसर्च मिल जाती है, ठीक है, जिसके अंदर जस्ट वो अपनी सीवी को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने के लिए फेक डेटा एंट्री कर देते हैं, ठीक है, और पब्लिकेशन किसी भी तरह करवा सकती है। ट्रू रिसर्च यहाँ पर नहीं हो रही है। मतलब ये बहुत ही एक हमारी क्या बोलूँ लेक पाकिस्तान कल्चर के अंदर रिसर्च का है कि हम बहुत ही है ना पीछे रह गए हैं, ठीक है। बट बात करूँ कि अगर आपको मतलब यूएसएमएलई प्लेब या एफसीपीएस के अंदर रिसर्च किस तरह नीड होगी, देखिए अगर आपको अच्छा प्रोग्राम के अंदर मैच होना है यूएसएमएलई के लिए, ठीक है, उसके लिए एटलीस्ट आपको 4 से 5 रिसर्च मिनिमम चाहिए हो, और कोशिश यही होनी चाहिए कि आप प्राइमरी ऑथर फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड के अंदर हो, ठीक है। तो वो आपको अच्छे मतलब आपके स्कोर्स अच्छे बने हो, ठीक है, जब तक आपकी रिसर्च नहीं होगी ना तो आपको मतलब अच्छे मैच प्रोग्राम के अंदर वहां पर मैच नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है। अगर प्लेब के अंदर भी बात करूं तो प्लेब के अंदर भी स्कोर होता है। अगर आप प्राइमरी कर रहे हैं रिसर्च के अंदर तो आपके 5 मार्क्स होते हैं, अगर आप सेकेंडरी या विद इन 5-6 होते हैं तो आपको 1 और 2 मार्क्स मिलते हैं, ठीक है। मतलब रिसर्च की बाहर के मुल्क में कितनी इंपॉर्टेंस है कि वो आपकी सीवी मतलब स्ट्रॉन्ग दो जनों को डिफरेंशिएट यही चीज करती है। अगर दोनों जनों के स्कोर सेम है, ठीक है, और एक ने रिसर्च की हुई हो तो वो चाहेंगे कि हमारे पास वही स्टूडेंट आए, हमारे पास वही डॉक्टर आए जो रिसर्च के अंदर ऑलरेडी इन्वॉल्व हो और हमें ज्यादा कुछ उस पर मेहनत ना करनी पड़े, हमें ज्यादा कुछ उसे सिखाना ना पड़े, समझी बात। तो इसी तरह अगर हम इस मेडिकल स्कूल की बात करते हैं एमबीबीएस के अंदर, हमारे हमारे यहाँ तो इतना कल्चर नहीं है इंटीरियर के अंदर के ना रिसर्च मैंडेटरी हो, ठीक है। बट जैसे सर आसिफ ने बताया कि आगा खान वगैरह जो अच्छे अच्छे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं उनमें ये मैंडेटरी है कि आप एमबीबीएस के दौरान दो कम से कम आपकी पब्लिकेशन मिनिमम 2 हो, ठीक है। अगर हम बात करते हैं एफसीपीएस के अंदर आपको पार्ट 2 से पहले आपको एक कम से कम या 2 आर्टिकल आपके ऑलरेडी पब्लिश हो या एक आपको साइनोप्सिस या जिसे डेजिग्नेशन बोलते हैं वो आपको सबमिट करवाना होता है। उसके बगैर आप एलिजिबल नहीं होते एफसीपीएस पार्ट 2 एग्जाम देने के लिए, ठीक है। एफसीपीएस पार्ट 2 का दे दिया, अगर आप उसके बाद आते हैं कंसल्टेंट या सीनियर रजिस्ट्रार की पोस्ट पर, उससे अगर आपको असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर बनना है तो कम से कम 2 रिसेंट मोर पब्लिकेशन चाहिए, ठीक है। इसी तरह असिस्टेंट एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर बनना है तो आपको कम से कम 5 to 7 पब्लिकेशन चाहिए होगी। इसी तरह एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर चाहिए बनना होगा तो उसके लिए आपको कम से कम 5 to 7 टोटल प्रोफेसर तक आपको मिनिमम 15 पब्लिकेशन चाहिए होती है। बट हमारे यहाँ एक्चुअली क्या यही है कि फेक हमें पब्लिकेशन मिल जाती है, पेड पब्लिकेशन मिल जाती है, और जो रिसर्चर हैं वो भी एक्चुअली डेटा जो यहाँ पर नहीं कर रहे होते हैं, ठीक है, फेक डेटा एंट्री कर और जैसे भी करके अपने आर्टिकल पब्लिश करवा देते हैं। पर असल आपको इशू तब आएगा जब आप बाहर किसी कंट्री में जाएंगे, अगर आपकी सीवी के अंदर है कि आपने इतनी रिसर्च की हुई है, ठीक है, और आपको बिल्कुल भी इतना बैकग्राउंड नॉलेज नहीं है, आपको बिल्कुल बेसिक ही नहीं पता है, तो तब जाके उसको आगे चल के उनको इश्यूज फेस करने पड़ते हैं। इसलिए यही बेस्ट है कि अगर आप ड्यूरिंग एमबीबीएस रिसर्च स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो आपको मतलब एक ये पॉजिटिव पॉइंट है। और जहाँ पर भी अगर आप अप्लाई एससीपीएस के लिए अप्लाई करेंगे, 2 जने हैं जिनको दोनों पास हो गए, अगर एससीपीएस पार्ट के अंदर पार्ट 1 के अंदर एक ने रिसर्च की है तो आपको ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी दी जाएगी जी।
ट्रू ट्रू, दैट इज वेरी ट्रू कि अगर आपकी सीवी है और एक सीवी आपकी वो है जिसमें कोई रिसर्च पब्लिकेशंस वाली नहीं है, ठीक है, और दूसरे वो आपकी सीवी है जिसमें बंदे की रिसर्चेस पब्लिश हुई हुई हैं, सो इट विल हैव अ ग्रेट इम्पैक्ट ऑन द इंटरव्यूअर एज वेल और एनी अदर पार्टी यू अप्लाई टू के इधर रिसर्च हुई हुई है एंड इट विल हैव अ गुड इम्पैक्ट सीवी पे ओवरऑल। तो अगर सारी चीजों को हटा के भी देखें तो वैसे भी आपकी सीवी बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाती है अगर आपने रिसर्चेस की हुई हो, सो दैट इज वेरी ट्रू। और इस हवाले से जो मोस्टली पहले भी सर आसिफ को जब हमने ऑन बोर्ड लिया था तो बात यही हो रही थी, हमारा बेसिकली रिसर्च का मकसद ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम लोगों ने किसी चीज को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाना है, सीवी स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है या फिर आपने एक लेवल से दूसरे लेवल पे जाना है। बेसिकली रिसर्च का मतलब आपका यही होना चाहिए कि यू फाइंड टू सर्च दैट टॉपिक एंड यू वांट टू गेन द नॉलेज एंड देन यू वांट टू सर्व द सोसाइटी एज वेल, और उसके लिए आपने रिसर्च करनी है। आपका जो जो आपकी मोटिवेशन होनी चाहिए, कोर मोटिवेशन होनी चाहिए, वो बहुत प्योर होनी चाहिए। सो थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर गौरव, थैंक यू so much for your precious time. I think Fazan is listening as well. Sir Asif have left, he had the plans and we we wanted to have in the panel, so he joined. So thank you so much to the guest, Mr. Gaurav and Mr. Fazan. It was really nice to have you both. Fizan was always there, that I would attend. Okay, anytime. Okay, Sunday. We changed the time too many times. It was 2, then 9, then it was on Friday. Mr. Gaurav was feeling a little glitched as well. We were changing the timings, but we want all the speakers on this webinar, so it can be really productive. Thank you to both of you, Mr. Fizan and Mr. Gaurav. Thank you so much. We're really glad to have you on this webinar. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, all the members listening, we can provide you the PowerPoint slides and the contact number. If you want, we can collect you and form the teams. If you want to conduct any research, you can all sign off. Thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you so much.